Hello everyone, this is Victor from EasyWorks. Today I'm going to go over some help articles on change configuration flow and change flow execution. So what this allows you to do is have certain objects in the EZ-MES application approved before they are moved to active or moved to archived, any other state that's available in the system. So before you can accomplish this function, you need to first configure an event that contains both an action and a trigger. The trigger launches the action. So right here is you can see our main execution screen. So we're gonna navigate to the configuration items and we'll first create our event. You can see here that I have already created these events in the system. The first one that we need to work on is the move to active event. So right here, the configuration involves just naming it move to active. The event type will be configuration management. Repeats false. You could check do not check on time loop. And also too, so this is pretty much all the configuration needed for your event. Of course, the event needs both a trigger and an action, which I've already done as well. So we'll go to the trigger screen. And if you created a new trigger here, it would open up a window where you could provide information. This trigger is just gonna fire all the time, so we just call it true. This could be this trigger could be recycled and used on any other event where you don't want to monitor or validate anything else on the object. You just want it to fire. So that's why the done string formula is true. It's just gonna fire whenever the event's allowed to. So I'll move this to active so we can use it. And the next item is the action. Now the action also contains, you can see here, each event is going to have its own action. So the move to active event is going to contain a move to active action. If we could just compare these, I'll compare two of them. You can see here the move to pending, action name. They both have action type server state change. So once you select server state change, you'll see the configuration items also change. So this move to active one, the change status would be active, and the move to pending one would be pending. So after you create this move to active action, you can simply clone it, which is what I did. And when you clone it, it's gonna be exactly the same here. So you just have to remember to rename it to move to archived or pending, whichever you're creating. This could remain the same, and you also have to do change the status. So we have these correct. I'll put that on active status. I'll just verify that my status is correct. Archived, pending. And we know this one already, active. So now we have all our events, triggers, and actions completed. Then you would need to assemble your event. We'll take a look at the active event. To do this, we would need to add the trigger down here, which is true. You select it and you hit the plus icon, which I'm not going to do because it's already added. And for the action, you do the same thing. You select the appropriate action, which would be move to active. action group is done, you click add, and then you'll see it appear down here like it is now. You could also add triggers and actions on the trigger and action tab. It's the same as adding it here. Maybe this is more comfortable for you. So I also use the clone feature on these events, which just allow me to, basically it works the same as how I demonstrated on the actions. It'll create a new event that is a clone of wherever you click the button from, the icon. So if I clone move to active, this is going to look identical. So you would just rename in a pending state, you would rename it to move to pending. This remains the same. Remember, we are recycling your true trigger, so you don't have to change anything here. But you would have to delete if you're cloning from active to pending, you would delete the move to active action and reselect move to pending, and again hit the add action, and you're done here. Then you would just move it to active so it can be used. Now you would also need to configure some more items. This basically handles the events needed to operate the configuration management. One other item that you would need to create would be a definition for your change order. You can see I already completed this here. Now in this configuration item, you're opening the part definition list box, but you can see on the left sidebar here, we have part definition, make a new equipment definition, and make a new change definition. So you want to be careful when you create your change order, you select make a new change definition. When you click this icon here, then you'll see your change order pop up. We just named it change order. I gave it a change number of CO-001 revision A, and that completes configuration of your change order. Now, after your change order is done, we will create a flow definition that handles the steps taken during your change order. So you could have a number of steps in this flow definition or operations in the flow definition that handle your particular change order process. This particular example is only going to contain a single step, which yours could very well be a single step as well. So on the new change flow definition, we just give it a change order workflow name, CO-001 revision A, and for the flow definition type, you need to make sure you select make change. Part state when active is pending, part state when done is released. So that concludes the flow definition for the time being, because we also need to add a approved change step. So again, as I mentioned earlier, your flow definition can have multiple steps required in your change order process. Ours is only a single step, which is called approved change. Now in this approved change step, simply just name it approved change, provide the operation number and revision. And the name values, you want to provide a unique ID for your change number. So every time you create a change, it's going to serialize it like it would do a part record. So I just called it EC and ID, and the name value type is unique ID. I added it, and then I did some further configuration to have it auto generate and auto execute, and I gave it a syntax, some literal characters, ECN dash, and then 3 numbers afterward. So you can see I ran some change orders already, and the last ID is ECN-004. So you could look up this unique ID syntax in our help pages to customize it to your needs. So after your NV is added, you can also make sure that you create a input-output conversion that only allows a change order to come in or out. With this configuration item here, you don't need to put an output. If you just put the input, it assumes it's the input and output part. So now when we create a flow, we could only allow for the change order definition to pass through here. After this is done, we can move the step to active so we can use it. And now we move to our flow definition again, so we can add the step. You can see I already did this here. You add the step and hit the plus button. Your step will appear down here in the list box. You move the flow definition to active, and that completes your configuration of change management. All that's left to do now is actually run some change orders, which you can view our help tutorial on the execution of change management. This help video is only intended to walk you through the configuration process. So in review, what we did was we created events for each of our change actions. We can move items now to pending, to archived, or to active. Each of our event definitions contain both a trigger, which is recycled, and an action. Each action is unique to the event. So we have a move to pending action, a move to active action, and a move to archived action. And along with the event configuration, we have also configured a change order using the create new change order icon. We created a flow definition that handles the make change flow definition type. And in our flow definition, we have a single step definition that allows us to serialize the ECN. You can also add other NVs, such as signature NV, that will allow a specific group of users, maybe a supervisor or ECN sign-off team group, to sign off these types of changes. For this instance, we're not going to use it. I just thought I'd throw that out there. But that concludes our configuration management configuration. This is also contained in a help file on our help pages, which I'll provide the link in the video description for you to view. Maybe it's easier to read through the step-by-step instructions versus watching the video. Thank you for watching.